a voice like this, because good poetry is meant to be spoken. As the seasons turn, we begin to notice time in new ways. The evenings draw in, the air cools, and our reflections grow longer. This episode is about what it means to age, and about what endures beyond the passing of time. Tonight, two voices from the same period in history, the bard William Shakespeare and the Welsh wordsmith Henry Vaughan. Each finds in the fading of light a different kind of beauty. One intimate and human, the other eternal and divine. So let's begin with Sonnet 73, That Time of Year Thou Mayst in Me Behold, by William Shakespeare. That time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bare ruined choirs, where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self, that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceiv'st, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. There's such tenderness in those lines. No rage, no protest, just a deep awareness of how love grows stronger as life grows shorter. The image of bare, ruined choirs, the ashes of youth still faintly glowing. It's not sorrow, but recognition. A kind of peace that comes from seeing ourselves honestly in the mirror of time. And speaking of time, here's another take. This is The World by Henry Vaughan. I saw eternity the other night, like a great ring of pure and endless light, all calm as it was bright. And round beneath it, time in hours, days, years, driven by the spheres, like a vast shadow moved in which the world and all her train were hurled. The doting lover in his quaintest strain did there complain. Near him his lute, his fancy and his flights, wit's sour delights. With gloves and knots the silly snares of pleasure, yet his dear treasure. All scattered lay while he his eyes did pour upon a flower. The darksome statesman hung with weights and woe, like a thick midnight fog moved there so slow. He did not stay nor go. Condemning thoughts, like sad eclipses, scowl upon his soul. And clouds of crying witnesses without pursued him with one shout. Yet digged the mole, and lest his ways be found, worked underground. Where he did clutch his prey, but one did see, that policy. Churches and altars fed him, perjuries, were gnats and flies. It rained about him blood and tears, but he drank them as free. the fearful miser on a heap of rust, sate pining all his life there, did scarce trust his own hands with the dust. Yet would not place one piece above, but lives in fear of thieves. Thousands there were as frantic as himself, and hugged each one his pelf. The downright epicure placed heaven in sense and scorned pretense, while others slipped into a wide excess, said little less. The weaker sought slight, trivial wares enslave, who think them brave, and poor despised truth sate counting by their victory. Yet some who all this while did weep and sing and weep soared up into the ring, but most would use no wing. O fools, said I, thus to prefer dark night before true light, to live in grots and caves and hate the day, because it shews the way which from this dead and dark abode leads up to God, a way where you might tread the sun and be more bright than he. But as I did their madness so discuss, one whispered thus, this ring the bridegroom did for none provide, but for his bride. Where Shakespeare's vision narrows to the glow within, Vaughan's expands to the light beyond. Both see time not as an enemy, but as a teacher, the warmth of what burns out, and the radiance of what never fades. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm Phil Rowe, and this is A Voice Like This. You can always drop me a line on avoicelikethis@gmail.com. But I'll be back next week with another selection of poems to while away a few minutes of your day. Until then, take care.